I stared at the email, its contents blurring as the weight of the situation sank in. The subject line, "Urgent meeting with Blake," evoked an immediate sense of dread. My hands trembled as I opened the message. Its tone was terse and impersonal. "Meet me in my office at 2 p.m. sharp. Do not be late. Blake, son of the CEO, and self-appointed enforcer at Orion Systems." The clock read 1:45 p.m. I took a steadying breath. My father's health had deteriorated, and I had taken time off to accompany him to treatment. Blake had noticed, and he had made no effort to hide his disapproval. To him I was a liability. By 1:58 p.m. I stood outside his office, adjusting my shirt and bracing myself. I knocked. "Come in," Blake called, his voice clipped. He sat behind a massive desk, his gaze filled with disdain. The office, glass walls, panoramic city views, was a monument to inherited privilege. "Dylan," he said curtly, "you're fired." I blinked. "Excuse me." "You're a drain on resources," he said without flinching. "Too many early leaves. Low productivity. It ends today." My pulse raced. "Please, Blake, my father's seriously ill. I need this job. I'm willing to do better." A slow smirk spread across his face. "You've outstayed your usefulness. Pack your things. Security will escort you out." Shame and fury surged within me, but I swallowed it. "Thank you for the opportunity," I murmured. Back at my desk, the office continued on as if nothing had happened. The air buzzed with whispered gossip. "Dylan's gone. Blake's cleaning house again. What a shame, but what can anyone do?" I boxed my belongings in silence, avoiding the curious glances. Linda, a senior developer, approached and placed a hand on my shoulder. "This isn't right," she said gently. "I know," I replied. "But there's little recourse." "Char. The CEO. Blake has his ear. If you need support, call me any time," she offered with a nod. True to his word, security awaited at the exit. I walked past familiar faces for the last time, each step heavier than the last. Outside, the city felt colder, indifferent. That evening, I lay on the couch, flooded with memories of the past 6 months. Blake's arrival at Orion Systems had changed everything. He entered the company like a conqueror, reshaping teams, policies, and culture with reckless authority. One Monday morning, as I focused on code, Blake clapped his hands loudly. "New rule. Mandatory overtime for everyone. Starting today. We have a product launch. I want 110%. A groan rippled across the office. "Blake," Linda objected. "People are reaching burnout. This isn't sustainable." He smirked. "Sustainable. You write code. I run the company. If anyone has a problem, they're free to leave." Silence followed. The work environment deteriorated. Fatigue, whispered complaints, a constant undercurrent of fear. Later in the break room, Mike joined me, visibly drained. "This place is falling apart," he muttered. "Did you hear about Jenny?" He nodded. "She resigned this morning. Blake pushed her too far." "I might be next," he admitted. I understood, but I couldn't afford to follow. Not with my father's rising medical costs. One night, I returned home to find Dad at the kitchen table, looking frail. "You're worn out," he observed. "I'm okay," I lied. "No, you're not. I'm grateful for what you're doing, but you can't destroy yourself in the process." His words struck deep. I squeezed his hand. "I'll manage," I whispered. A few days later, during a staff meeting, Blake erupted. "You're all pathetic. One missed deadline and everything crumbles. If you can't handle pressure, leave." In hindsight, losing my job at Orion may have been a blessing in disguise. In the weeks that followed, I drifted through uncertainty, submitting applications while anxiety over my father's health consumed me. Then one morning a job posting caught my eye. NovaPixel, a rival game studio, was seeking developers. My pulse quickened. This could be the fresh start I needed. I applied immediately. A week later, I received an interview invitation. I prepared rigorously, determined not to miss the opportunity. From the moment I walked into Nova Pixel's office, I sensed the difference: bright, open workspaces and a welcoming atmosphere. During the interview, I was greeted by CEO Evelyn and the development lead, Miss Tran. "Welcome, Dylan," Evelyn said warmly, extending her hand. "Thank you for having me," I replied. Miss Tran smiled. "We'd love to hear more about your background." I shared my journey, my time at Orion, the dysfunction I'd witnessed, and my enduring passion for building meaningful games. "I want to create work that matters," I said, "in a place that values its people." Evelyn nodded. "We'd be honored to have you on board." Relief swept through me. On my first day, I met my new team: Maya, Eli, and Linda, a different Linda from Orion. They welcomed me with genuine kindness. The culture was collaborative, supportive, and inspiring. For the first time in a long while, I felt seen and appreciated. One evening, I stayed late at the office, distracted and overwhelmed. Miss Tran passed by and paused. "You all right?" she asked gently. I hesitated, then admitted, "My father needs surgery. I don't know how I'll afford it." Without pause, she responded, "We'll handle it." And blinked. "What? Your family now? Let us help." I was stunned. After so much isolation and cynicism, such unguarded compassion caught me off guard. My voice failed, but my tears spoke for me. Thanks to Nova Pixel's generosity, my father received the surgery he needed. I stayed with him throughout his recovery, watching his strength gradually return. Back at work, the support didn't stop. Maya brought home-cooked meals. Eli took on part of my workload. The team even organized a fundraiser. One afternoon, Evelyn approached me. "How's your father doing?" "He's stronger every day," I replied. "I can't thank you all enough." She smiled. "That's what family does." As Dad healed, I poured myself into my work. When a major software bug threatened the launch of a new product, I rallied the team. "We'll get through this together." And we did. The product launched successfully and on schedule. Evelyn later addressed the team. "Outstanding leadership, Dylan. We're fortunate to have you." "I couldn't have done it without everyone here," I replied. Nova Pixel had become more than a workplace. It was home. Meanwhile, back at Orion, the consequences of Blake's leadership were beginning to unravel. His toxic reign had driven away talent, crushed morale, and created chaos. Then, in a dramatic shift, CEO Martin, recently recovered from illness, returned. In an emergency board meeting, he addressed the company. "Blake's decisions have cost us more than just profit. They've cost us our people." Effective immediately, he is relieved of all responsibilities. Martin paused, his gaze steady. "We must rebuild trust. I'll serve as interim CEO while we search for a permanent successor. Let's repair this together." For the first time in months, a glimmer of hope returned to Orion. But my life had moved on. I had found something far more meaningful: a team that valued compassion, a workplace that honored people over profit, and a community that helped save my father's life. Blake's downfall made industry headlines. But I had already discovered something more profound than vindication: purpose, and a place where I was truly believed in.